All right, here's the my first initial thoughts on the Canyon Speedmax. I just got done doing steady state intervals on it. I did the same workout on the Fuji and back 2 days ago, and so everything was exactly the same setup, same trainer, everything. And so my initial thoughts on the Canyon are it's definitely more geared towards triathlon. I was using my hamstrings a lot more on that bike, which in turn caused my heart rate to be about 1 to 2% higher than when I was running the Fuji, and that's probably something I'll be able to adapt to. It's actually probably a good thing because technically when I do my long rides, 400 or 500 miles, I can run the Fuji for a while and then run the Canyon, go back and forth, and I can be using slightly different muscle groups, muscles more than others, which will allow some to rest while I'm riding one bike and others to rest while I'm riding another bike. So that's just a theory and a thought. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I think that the more that I ride the Canyon, the more my heart rate will and perceived effort will drop to what it is on the Fuji as I build those other muscle systems, so that's fine. Something to note, the Fuji, I believe, is the biggest size Fuji that you can get. I think it's a 57 centimeter is what they call it, and the Canyon is a large. I believe Canyon offers an XL, but for my height, they said it wouldn't be appropriate. So the distance from here to here on the Canyon is about 1.5 inches closer together than it is on the Fuji. Now you'll see I have the seat all the way back, and both positions here, it's all the way back, and here it's maxed out as well. It's in the red zone there. I don't have the arm pads all the way forward yet. I am gonna move those forward. So I will be able to get about 1/2 inch out of there once I move those up. And then I can slide the bars up a little as well. The reason I'll slide the bars up is because my hands are gripping like up here. I want to be down there. Now this is also something to note that's pretty sweet about this Canyon. So over here on the Fuji, if you want to adjust, if you want to move these bars, you have to get in here, unscrew this clamp. It's a huge pain in the ass, right? That's Fuji's design. These are profile designs, the T4s that come on the Canyon. And what's sweet about these is you just unscrew. You just loosen that screw and they slide right forward. Makes them super easy to adjust. No clamp up top that's all a pain in the butt. And so far they've stayed pretty well. So basically, the Fuji is kind of more set up as an endurance bike because see, on the Fuji, I'm not even maxed out for how far back I can put my seat. I could go back further and I could stretch that out more, which I think the position of this bike having me crunched up a little more downward facing, it's a more aggressive, more triathlon position, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm real curious to see what I'm gonna do is I'm going to run some tests. I'm going to do 250 watts on the Canyon, 250 watts on the Fuji on a well-known strip that I ride a lot. And I'm going to see, now you'll note the Canyon only has, I think they're the equivalents to the 404s, and the Fuji's at 808, deeper wheel. I'm going to leave the wheels and everything the same and just see which bike has more aero. And to add to that, I'm going to leave, I've got the Grand Prix pre 4000 S2s on the Fuji, and on the Canyon I'm just going to leave the standard Mavic wheel, which has some tread, which I think is going to give me some more rolling resistance. I don't know. And then also on the Fuji I have a wax chain right now. This chain on the Canyon is just the standard chain that comes with. It's a Shimano chain in the factory grease crap or whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this bike as it is now, 250, that bike as it is then, 250. See which one has the better aero. Then what I'd like to do after that is run some tests where I put some a wax chain on here, 4000 S2 with the deeper dish wheel on here, and and see how much that changes things. And then also swap out that Profile Design water holder, see if that slows me down or speeds me up on here. Something else to note about this Canyon that's pretty sweet, you guys can see this box, which is nice because I'm gonna be able to put a tube and CO2 and stuff in there, maybe a little snack bar, whereas on the Fuji, what I have to do now, unless I want to run a saddlebag, is I have a tube taped up under there, and then I put my CO2 and my CO2 thing in the back of my jersey, which is kind of a pain. Another thing cool about this Canyon, boom, check that out. Water bottle fits perfect right in there. So probably what I'll do with this Canyon, I need to figure out something for a Garmin mount, but most likely what I'll do is I'll just have a water bottle there when I'm doing endurance events, and then I can hand it off to my crew and they can hand me a new one, and that'll work just fine. I'm thinking maybe strapping a Garmin right here. I'm not certain. Maybe Garmin will make something, I don't know. If you guys have any ideas on how to get a Garmin on there. See, my worry is I've had a Garmin down here before and then it gets the satellites blocked and you get crappy GPS. So maybe someone else has an idea on that. Comment below about that. Anyway, that's my first review, Canyon Speedmax CF 8.0.